Hi there, it's Laurie from Positive Thanks Living. I'm going to walk you through how I made this accordion tag journaling spots. The idea came from GI Kerr, and I sort of messed with it a little bit and improved it a little bit, and I wondered whether you'd be interested in making it. It started with her Friday freebie from number 23 and evolved. I printed off the backing papers, and they're so pretty. I'm going to do a few more things with them. But this is the first thing that I'm making, and I thought I'd show you how. If you see how it's constructed, it's pretty simple. It's two circles back to back with a connector between, and the connectors, I just glue them together. And then put some of the circles they're tea-dyed circles, die cut out, glue them onto the back. And there are two small pockets to hold little journaling booklets. And the idea is I'm going to make a few of these in different styles using G's paper, backing papers, so that they match. And that way there's enough to journal just a wee bit each day for a week. So there's 4, 5, 6, and then any extras for the week. If I have 4 different kinds of these, someone could talk about what they're thankful for a whole month, or just one of these and write down what they're thankful for over 1 week. 2020 has been a very interesting year, not always pleasant in all ways, but there's always something to find to be thankful for. And I feel so strongly that it's important to write things down, the things we're thankful for, because in the years to come, we'll look back. We'll have a slightly different perspective if we see in our own handwriting those things that were good, regardless of the outside circumstances. So, let's get started. I haven't really done a tutorial on camera before, so I'm not sure how quickly I can do things. I've discovered that I'm not a really fast crafter. My fingers kind of don't work quickly. So you'll bear with me as I glue a little bit. This is the Fabri-Tac glue. And the reason I'm using it as I make this video, not because it's necessarily my favorite, but it gives me a little bit of wiggle room, literal wiggle room, in case when I first put things down, they're not exactly aligned. So, making the inside attachments hinges, maybe that's a better word. So the green on either end. I've done these two already. Backed them, glued them. the circles. I try to glue the circles down and keep everything on a line, on a grid, so it'll match up. So the bottom of the circle there and the hinge will go on this line for here, this one. Because when you fold them together, you want to be sure that everything is matching. Otherwise it folds wonky. And you know what? It wouldn't be a tragedy if it folded wonky, but for some, it would be very annoying. That like things very straight and very even. And what's your favorite glue to use? And I need to put this here first. Fortunately, Fabri-Tac should give me enough of a wiggle room if I forget something, and I can unhinge or pull off the top of one of the circles if I forget. And it's happened. How often do you have to pull things apart? And the second one. I need to refill my bottle. It's not... I should have thought of that before I started the recording, huh? That would have been a good idea. Do you keep a journal that talks about where you record what you're thankful for? I've read a lot of research on how thankfulness, gratitude journaling can change perspective. I believe in it thoroughly. I have an app on my phone where for years it's called Gratitude 365, I think. And for years you can upload a list of things you're thankful for. And it's really cool to see how that list has grown and the things that are repeated and the things that are different. I read a book about a fellow that spent 1 year writing thank you notes to all the different people in his life. He started out in a really rough spot financially and relationally with his children. And after a year of writing thank you notes, one every day, his whole life had changed completely. I'll see if I can find the book and link it below. It was a fascinating read. He was a lawyer and ended up writing this book because it was the practice of writing thank you notes and paying attention to how thankful he was so significant in his life. I had to laugh because I'm kind of a word nerd. He said at the beginning, when he first wanted to talk about gratitude, he didn't even realize how it was spelled. He thought it was gratitude with a, like, or rather being grateful. He spelled it G-R-E-A-T. That's how far away gratitude was in his life experience. No, I forgot to do the little bottom one there. Yay for Fabri-Tac. Stays gloppy for a little bit. So, we now have 4 circles. So these 4 are attached, like so. And I have to put the little journaling bits on top. The other reason I like Fabri-Tac is because when I'm dealing with tea-dyed paper, it doesn't discolor or show through when it goes on the other side. And glitter glue. I really like glitter glue. And it holds so nicely and it comes out so beautifully. But sometimes the papers that I print change color when I use the glitter glue. And it's frustrating. Depends how grungy the project is. If it's very grungy, it almost doesn't matter, the color change. But this would matter. I love these papers. And she calls them the backing papers. And it's she refers to it as the first set. So I'm really hoping there'll be another set. Okay, so now we have it like this side. This side is done. Now I have to flip it over. But this side. I'm just going to let this dry here and pretend through the magic of doing more than one. So this is done. This is done. Now I want to put pockets on either side here. And pink with pink and yellow with blue. I think that looks pretty. Now I'm only going to glue this side so it makes an open pocket. But being careful that the 12 is at the top, because, yeah, that would bother me the most. And wow, is this glue very gloppy. At the top, like so. And another one, I have to make sure, because this, like so. Only doing it a half. I think of it like a smile. There we go. And on. Like so. So now, see? And to make the little booklets that go inside. That's next. As you can see, I have the beginnings of the booklets here. And one on one side, one on the other. But I had the slight difficulty of it being too long to me, it looked funny, sticking out too high. So I just cut them off. And maybe you wouldn't have done that, I don't know. But it's as simple as a wonderful scissor. And corner rounder, because I find putting things, yeah, this is going to be very loud. Putting things into a pocket seems to work better if the corners are round, in my opinion. And I have a little bit of twine here to attach them. I want to be able to move the pages easily to write on them, to write on either side. So giving a lot of space to flip seems to work best for me. And of course, it would have been easier if I'd left them longer, trying to put it through. There's one, and the second one. What kind of cutting tools do you like the best? I mean, for me, grabbing a scissor is easy, but I find it difficult cutting straight. I haven't had a lot of luck with a paper trimmer, the one where you slide the blade back and forth. I don't even pull it out anymore because I end up taking a sliver off here and taking a sliver off there, and it just keeps getting shorter and shorter. Ah, yes, the other thing I wanted to be sure to do was ink. I've inked all the circles and this little booklet, the sides, inking them. I think it kind of ties everything together when you ink. Makes it look more finished, perhaps. Now I'm going to leave my ends longer this time so that it's easier to, even though you waste a little bit, it's a lot easier to tie. And I'm sure I'm going to find a use for the ends of these in some project somewhere. I've been watching a lot of people make snippet rolls, little scraps put together that, or snippet squares or bits. So I think I could use leftovers there. And I'm beginning a collection of them. Today I connected with somebody on Instagram who had a really cool new way of, or for me, new anyhow, of storing her ephemera. So I just might try that. My desk, I'm kind of growing all the little bits and pieces everywhere of things that I'm cutting out. And I need to find another way of storing them because I almost have too many already. And these are labels. I've put the word thankful on most of them, or thankful for. And I want to put them on my booklets, or at least one side of the booklet. Booklet is the wrong word. Take journaling tag. There. Now, let's use, I have the handy dandy glitter glue here. That'll come out a lot easier than the Fabri-Tac. Oh, I forgot to ink. You do that ever? Glue something and then realize you forgot inking. All right, now let's ink this one before I glue it. And this should be dry by now, so I can put it together. Yep, nice and dry, and tuck the little tag journaling thingies in there. Now, unlike the very first one that I made here, I didn't put anything on the ends, and then had a problem because they wouldn't stay closed. It kind of flapped. So I thought I would try something different and made the next one with something on the end. And you can see the two little holes. Eventually, when you're done with it, you can just put the bulb pin through and it'll hold it closed. So I need to put a hole in this one. And I have my handy dandy, not little, it's big, the crocodile. So you have two holes. I use the smaller one. And the idea is to match it up and put a hole through. I need to use a pencil to mark where my hole will go. And I was very thankful for this hole punch the other day. My husband has been losing weight and he needed a new hole in his belt. So I pulled it out and he was very impressed. I could just go and put a whole new hole in his belt. And let's put this through. Closes it up with the bulb pin, like so. Now it still can open this way, but I think it can go on the edge of a journal page, just like so. It'd be like a little tag hanging out. And if you're busy, still want to journal in it, then okay, there's a problem. Like so. You just hang it off one side. Or put twine through. Could do that too. Forget the pin altogether. But there we go. It's a little accordion journaling ephemera with two little tag journaling pages tucked into pockets on either side. And that's how it comes together. So it was nice spending time with you. I wish you a good day and take care. It's Lori, Positive Thanks Living. Bye-bye.